tell you something, brother. This might be the best OG Kush I've ever had. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. You just said a mouthful, brother. I'm higher than helicopter butt. Listen, though, Hulkster. Younglurch has been running his mouth on that podcast. Blaze the Bingo Hall podcast needs to show some respect to the veterans, brother. I say we run in there and show Younglurch and his guest just exactly who the OGs of this game are, What you gonna do, Blaze the Bingo Hall podcast, when the Macho Man and the Hulkster run wild on you? Ooh, yeah. Give me like 10 minutes, though, because I'm really, really stoned. Oh, yeah.
We're live. We're back at the Bingo Hall. We're blazing it with your boy Younglurch like we always do. We have a special episode as always. The one, the only, your boy Ezko. Welcome to the Bingo Hall. Thanks for dropping by and blazing it with your boy.
Hey, hell
what's
yeah,
going
man.
on?
Thanks for having me.
Already blazing it, as I see.
Yes, sir. Had to.
Yes. Gotta get your mind right. You gotta get ready to, you know what I'm saying? Step in, and
yes,
you know,
sir.
I'm glad that you hit me up to come through, man. You know, I love networking with people, artists like yourself, and getting your story out there and spreading your message. So like I said, we're gonna ask you a few questions today, and we'll jump right into it. So you're from the Washington DC area, but as we were talking beforehand, you're actually from Cameroon. So at what age were you when you came to the States?
So, a little bit, to be a little bit more clear, I'm more from Maryland. Like, I actually recently just started living in DC. Like, I've been here maybe like about 5-6 months or so now. But I was born in Cameroon. I came to America when I was like 4 on a medical visa. I had like a tumor or something growing in my throat, and
Wow.
back home, like, they don't have whatchamacallit, they don't have like, oh, at the time, they probably do now, but at the time they didn't have like the technology to do it in a way where I wouldn't be like super scarred or dead, you know what I mean? And luckily my dad was here already, so he just made the arrangements, and they brought me over here, and then I just kind of stayed, because why not?
So was that something you were born with, or something that started at that age? You said 4 when you came here.
To be honest, I don't know, but I don't even know if it started when I was 4. I don't know when it started. I just
You could have
know,
been born with it, and it just started growing. And
I just know that when I came here, it got rid of, and I've never had it reappear or anything ever since.
wow. So having to go through something like that at such a young age, do you remember? Like, I mean, I guess you remember some of that,
I
right?
actually do.
Or all of it. I don't.
It's kind of a core memory, weirdly enough. I remember I was at I think it was the children's hospital. What's it called? The children's hospital down here in DC. And I remember going, I remember like they had me in one of the rooms, and it was right next to like a children's playroom or something. And I remember one of the nurses took me in there to like, just play with the stuff. And it was my first time ever seeing like those kinds of toys. And my mind was blown. Like, I felt like, oh shit, I must be in heaven or something. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was cool. And I even remember they brought me applesauce to that was probably the first time I had applesauce too. Um like it's a lot of weird, I remember looking out the window and seeing like a plane statue too. I remember a lot of little different shit, but I also remember seeing the doctor and having them they put like a, like the tube with the light at the end that like sees stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw the actual tumor that was there. It was weird, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
those are some of the core memories I have from that.
that's a wild thing to have to deal with at such a young age. But I guess you had your surgery, and everything's good now, I would assume,
Yeah.
or is it something you still have to?
Like I said, ever since then, I haven't had any. It hasn't come back. I've had no type of issue ever whatsoever. Like,
That's awesome, man.
I'm blessed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that, because I know that's a it's a crazy story. But yeah,
Mhm.
like you said, you have African roots, um, more from the Maryland area. So are you closer to like Maryland, but like closer to like DC, like Langley
Yeah,
type
so
area,
Silver, yeah, so
Hyattsville type?
Silver Spring. So, and that's,
Okay.
yeah. So it's funny. Silver Spring is kind of like where I more so grew up. I went to like I did more of my college in in Montgomery College, Rockville. I was more so Gaithersburg, Rockville, like that area.
Hmm.
And then I grew older, came back to like Silver Spring and was Spring, DC a lot. And then I moved to Baltimore. I was in Baltimore for a year. I lived in
Okay.
Virginia for a year. I lived in LA for a couple months, came back. Like I've done a lot of moving around, trying to find myself, trying to find my people. And now
For
I'm on
sure.
the road to Saga City.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about some Saga City here in a minute. So you're definitely familiar with the DMV area then for sure, because you'd like to
Yes, yes,
bounce
sir.
all around the local area.
Yes, sir.
Um, but I thought it was interesting about you that you were a poet before you ever did music. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yes. So when I was so what people would call like middle school and high school here, I did that back home in Cameroon. And when I was there, I took, one of the classes. It was an English class, and I developed a love for words and poetry in that class. And I used to write poems. I had a little black book, and I literally filled it up with poems. I even wrote sketch plays in the form of poems. Like people would communicate with each other about whatever the play was about, but it would be in a poetic form. So I used to do a lot of different things, and I lost that book eventually. And to be honest, I think my teacher stole it, but that's another conversation. But
She was trying to put the poems out under her own name.
he did. I saw
Oh,
my
he
poems
did.
under his name. That's
No.
why I think he stole them. But whatever.
Damn.
Um, but 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 one day, one of like the kid that like kind of inspired me to rap, he just kind of like he was like a cool kid, used to get the girls, he had all the cool gear, like he was the kind of kid all the other kids wanted to be, you know what I mean, especially when you're young adolescent, you
Yeah.
know so one of the coolest attributes about him was he used to rap. And being that I came from America and I was going to school over there, everybody just kind of assumed that I could rap because I was from America. So that was an interesting little feat. So what I used to do at the time, because I didn't know what the fuck, I used to I used to take like songs from the video games I would play that I knew they hadn't heard, and I would just go rap that song.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, damn, he's coming up with some good stuff.
And they would eat it up. And I kind of fell in love with the feeling of like performing and entertainment and all of that. So that actually got me, and I was like, well, I write poems. My cousin's telling me, oh, I can turn these into raps. Like it's a good feeling when I do it. You know what? Let me keep doing this. So I did.
So it was your
Um,
cousin that got you into it, that told you could do it, turn it into rap.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I did, the feeling, hearing it sound good was like, oh shit, it's that simple. Okay. And there was another aspect to it too. So in the school, I went to a boarding school, and in the school, like, I wasn't even the only person that was rapping. So there was a competitive factor to it as well. And there was something in me that I had to be the best rapper on campus. I just had to. So it became a thing. Like people would, go out of school, record songs, come back, and like when you recorded your song and came back, you were the hottest thing on campus. So it was like, and also the other thing is you're not really allowed to leave campus either. So to leave campus, one, you're committing a crime, so that kind of adds a coolness to it. Like, oh man, like they just like it was it was a whole thing. But
Like a little edgy rule breaker type of guy, and then you
yeah, it's like
come
an
back and
edgy
he's
rule
got the
breaker type
song.
thing on top of the fact that, oh, you just recorded a song, you're a rapper, like, and then on top of that, mind you, it's a school that's like a minor seminary, like they train people to be like priests for the cat like the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like almost all types of taboo. And like, you know, I don't know, but it was a time, it was fun. Like it inspired me, and like I think that's what really started my journey.
Yeah, and your journey's definitely taken you a long way. I mean, I've seen that you open up for like ASAP Ferg, Pusha T,
Yeah,
just to name a
yeah.
few. What was your experiences like with artists such as them? I mean, you have to obviously take some sort of knowledge or absorb something from them, right?
Yeah, so you know, it's interesting because like I originally wanted to be like the type of artist that never had to touch a stage before I made it. And what happened was one day I actually got like free access to a Wale and Friends show. Wale used to throw like these shows the first of the year, literally every year. I think it was for 5 or 6 years straight. It was one of the coolest things I think he did. And I got lucky enough to go. So I don't know if it was the first or the second one. And I was in there and I saw him perform. I saw the crowd react. And mind you, this is the first time I've ever seen anybody perform, and it was like a very very inspiring moment. And it's a moment also that I'll never forget. To me, what that's another reason why Wale is one of my favorite artists,
Yeah, it's
because it's
dope.
like seeing somebody that's like from where we're from is like, whoa, if he did this, he's doing this, like why can't I? Like, yeah, he's amazing, but I could be amazing too, like the fuck.
I love
So
that logic.
you know, so I seen that one, it encouraged me to see more shows, and then it just made me feel like, yo, these are real people. Like I can go talk to them, I can go shake their hand, like I can get their phone number, I can get to know them, I can develop relationships with them. So you know, it also gave me that perspective, and I'm glad I went. Getting to open up for people like Pusha T, ASAP Ferg, Playboy Cardi, Made in Tokyo, Raekwon. I've performed with Shabuzi, like a whole bunch of artists. Just from not having the fear,
It's
just
all
from
good,
not
bro.
having the fear of like going out there, like I said, and you know, shaking their hands and getting. And also, I think I had this experience in 2015. I went to South by Southwest, and it was like another very crazy experience because I got thrown literally in the midst of like some of the top performing artists, like literally walking onto like what is it, Sixth Street, or like the main place where all like the shows and stuff go on. The first person I walked into was rest in peace, OG Mako. The first
Okay.
person I ran into, and we had like maybe a 10 15 second conversation because I think he was going to a show, and I just say, hey man, what's up. I give a quick intro, and I'm like, hey man, if you have any advice, like what should I do out here. He was just like, what you're doing right now, just keep it up. I was like, I bet. You know what I'm saying? And because another thing too is, at the back of my mind, I didn't want to come off like a groupie either, so I didn't want to
Right.
force any conversations, or you
I
know what
can
I mean.
I
And I
completely
think that,
understand that feeling, man. It's an awkward feeling where you don't want to like come off like markish or fanish, but you also want to let them know like, hey, like I fuck with what you're doing, or you know whatever it is that you're trying to get your point across, or but you don't want to come off too try to play it cool. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I know exactly that feeling you're describing.
yeah.
Here we go again. Hopefully everything's all right.
and and I think that gave me an edge in a lot of the different situations, because I ended up so I was sitting down again on 6th Street, and I'm sitting down like on the corner, like I'm not gonna lie, I was going through it. Like I didn't prepare for the trip. I was going through it. And this kid literally sits right next to me. And he just starts we just start having a conversation. His name was Aztec. Shout out Aztec Beats. And I find out he works with Save Money. Internet, that's like what's it called? Vic Mensa, Chance the Rapper. And at the time, I'm like, bro, stop playing. And he's like, nah, bro, I'm dead ass. So he was like, you want to go meet him? And I'm like, sure. So he's like, I bet. He's like, first, so we go into the show. Joey Badass, and a whole bunch of people are performing. And I'm having like literally Joey is talking to me, and like I can't even remember what we're talking about, but it's like he's telling me, oh, I'm about to perform, yada, yada, yada. It's nice to meet you. Do you want a drink? I'm like, nah, I'm good. Thank you, though. Kill your set. He goes, to be honest, I think he's the one that actually changed my performance as a whole. That's why I'm sharing this part of the story for the other shit's not even that important. I did meet Chance the Rapper in this social experiment after, but that's another story. But I talked to Joey. I saw Joey perform, and it was like, whoa, okay. Ever since then, like he had an energy to him. His stage presence was crazy, and it definitely inspired me to like perform to my top ability. And I think that's like what I've carried with me till this day.
Yeah, that's awesome when you're able to have those types of moments with people that you kind of are looking to, you know, collab with or be like in some sort of way or look up to. You know, when you're able to have a moment that actually means something, it's something that, you know, you're able to, you know, play off of and build off of, so to say, I guess, to say, hey, when you look back in a couple of years, like, look how far we came, you know. So that's cool that, you know, you're able to make those connections. And I think that comes from putting yourself out there. And like you said, going to
Exactly.
those events and just being there. Like you said, hey, you're doing it. You're here.
Yeah.
You know,
I talk to everybody because I still think about like if I would have ignored that kid or if I would have been like, nah, man, don't talk to me like that. Like I would have missed out on meeting all these people, to be honest.
yeah. Yeah, that's why it's like people, you treat like I'm a firm believer, you treat everybody the same way. You know what I mean? Whether it's a millionaire or the janitor or whatever it is, like a homeless person, it doesn't matter because everyone
I
is a
live by
person.
that.
Everyone has feelings. Everybody is, you know, so you treat everyone equal. So yeah, that's definitely one of the same thing. But I did some deep diving on your TikTok, and I seen you did some plate spinning, and I guess you do a whole bunch of other objects and spin them as well. Is that right?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
did that come about? Was it basketballs? Did you start spinning first, and then it was other things, or you're just like,
No, actually, that's another weird little thing that I learned back home in Cameroon. Like I
okay,
remember, I used to in the boarding school. Like I learned a lot from that school. Like I learned about influence from that school, also the power of influence and how it works in a way. But we can get into that later or
yeah,
another time or whatever. But the plate thing was like I used to walk around and I would see kids like spinning their books on their fingers, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I used to bother a bunch of the different kids that would do it like, yo, teach me, teach me, teach me, teach me, teach me.
yeah,
And eventually one of them did. And ever since I could do it. So one day I was just like, I can't, oh, I think, so I pay attention to the kids. Like I pay attention to the kids. I pay attention to what they like, what excites them, what they, what they're talking about, all that. So I remember, I don't know if I was with my nieces or what, but I was yeah, I think I was with my nieces and I started doing it and they were like, Uncle Donald, what is that? I'm like, what do you like what? Like what do you mean? I'm laughing, I know what they're talking about, but I'm just playing with them. And they're like, how are you doing that? So I'm like, oh, okay, like this is a thing that like also the other thing was I noticed a lot of people don't do it or know how to do it or I don't see anybody doing it. So I'm
yeah.
like, okay, maybe that's something that could make me different. I like being different, why not? And besides, I also wanted to see other people that would react and do it too. I still haven't, but I don't know if it's just people don't know how or if so but
I think it's a unique talent, and a lot of, like you said, a lot of people don't know how to do it. I can do it with like a basketball for like a little, you know, a little bit, but I'm not as good with it as some people where they can just like move it all over the place. And I'm sure you're probably like that's nothing to you, a basketball,
I
right?
could well that's the
You're doing
thing.
all
I
kind of
could
objects.
spend
Yeah, how did you get to different objects? That's what I want to know. Like, and what's the
I
craziest
didn't
object you've done?
so so it has to be a flat surface. As long as it
Okay,
has a flat surface, I could spin it on my finger.
okay.
And it can't be too heavy either, because if it's heavy, then like it can't really work.
So, are
But if
you
it,
able to do basketballs?
yeah, I could do a
Okay,
basketball.
okay,
Yeah. But I started with the flat surfaces actually before I learned how to do the basketball. And
okay.
yeah, but with the flat surface like a book, a plate, whatever, I could even use a pencil.
I was going to ask that next because there's people that do it with like the sticks with the plates, so
Yeah.
you can do it like that as well.
Yeah, I could do it with like the eraser end of a pencil.
Okay.
I was gonna
That's
start
dope.
doing that next in videos too.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say we probably need more of that because it's a unique thing that you could definitely do a lot of things with that. You could be spitting bars while you're spinning. Like I mean, you could be
I thought about
yes,
starting to
man.
do a little
You
different
could be
things.
making videos doing yeah, man. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. But another thing I seen on your TikTok that was interesting is that I guess they're like collabs with like beat makers. Is that what you would call them? Where they're putting out beats and then they're looking for artists to come on and freestyle over top of them. And I've
Yeah,
seen you did a lot of them. Some of them were really dope, and I think that's really cool and an awesome way for you and other artists to connect with each other. How did
yeah.
you get into that? Is that just was something that TikTok was doing, and I guess you just hopped on with it?
So pretty much, whenever I get into any platform, I kind of like I make sure that I'm a user first. I try to use it. I look at the behavior of the people, how other people interact, how the content creators interact, what they're posting, what's successful, what's not so successful. Like I try to really like gauge all of that and try to pay attention. And then I try to look at the artists that are like similar to me or whatever, and then I try to like I try to try those things and see what works, what doesn't work. If it's working out, I keep it. If it's not working out, I let it go, right? So um as I was doing this, I saw other artists were doing like that type of content. They're called they're called duets. They're
Oh,
called
okay.
duets. And I saw other artists doing them, so I'm like, well, I mean, I could rap. Rap is not it's not hard. Like I could rap. Like so I just started doing like, duets with their verses. And I was gauging how people, because I wanted to find something consistent that I could give people. And more than anything, like I said, I could rap, so I knew I could give people raps almost every day if I felt like it. So I just started making a bunch of them and posting as many of them as I could.
And it has to be
Um,
a challenge to you, I'm sure, to, you don't know what beat you're going to get on the next time that get on there to do a duet with somebody. And it's got to be, something you're able to sharpen your tools with and your repertoire of, your vocab and, your music, your skills.
Well, I just try to remember to have fun. Like
Yeah.
I just try to remember more than anything to have fun. I try to not like, because I feel like anything outside of that would make it like too difficult for myself. So I just try to have fun. To be honest, like a couple of those, I do a couple different takes. Like it's not always perfect in one. You know what I mean? Like I might do a verse. I might do one beat for a couple days. You know what I mean? Like it's different processes for different ones. So
Are any of them
yeah,
freestyles that you're doing on there, or you're just
a few of them
okay?
are freestyles. I'll be honest, most of them are written, but a few of them are freestyles.
Okay. Yeah, it's
I'm
definitely
not gonna say which is which. I'll let the people try to figure that out.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're definitely about your business. You're about your hustle. You're definitely about your grind. That's something that I can pick up in the vibe since we first got in connection with each other. Would you agree with that? You're constantly about your hustle. Yeah, yeah, I can tell. I mean,
A
you
hundred
you you
percent.
you came prepared. Like, I mean, look at this. Not many people do. Not many people take the time to invest in themselves. So it's like things like this where like, hey, you come prepared. Like some people don't. Some people just kind of like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess maybe. And it's like you're betting on yourself, right? So it's
Yeah,
like, don't let yourself down. So it's like some people, I don't get it, but like I recognize that right away with you. Like this guy's about his hustle, he's about his grind. So that's something that I'm always looking to connect with people like yourself. I can tell you're a very proactive thinker. You're strategic in the way you move, the way you do things, the way what content you're putting out there, your music, and those things don't go unnoticed, at least in my world. So yeah,
I
I would
appreciate
definitely,
that.
yeah, man, I would keep doing your thing. But take me to life before you started music. Was that just was that what you were talking about earlier with like doing the poetry and things like
Yeah.
that, or was
So
there?
So before I got into music, I just, I was a kid. I was really like, to be honest, I was like a nerd. Like I was into all the nerdy shit, like space, science, biology, like, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't good in school, but I was interested in all the stuff. Eventually I eventually got good in school, but that's like a little bit later on. And but I was into like the nerdiest shit. I could just put it that way. And I guess eventually as I got older and I got around different people, around different things, like I said, I met my cousin, and I started seeing different things, and I guess I also just started to mature in different ways. I started picking up different interests, and music became one of them. I
Okay.
never, I always thought about what I wanted to be, and I never really had an answer for myself. But when I, like I said, when I made that first poem, and I heard the beat, and it matched and everything, and it felt right. I like something about that feeling. I wanted to have that forever.
Felt natural.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you say that you're not just a music artist, but you refer to yourself as a traveler. What
yeah.
does that mean to you personally?
So I'm a traveler because like I feel like in life we're always on a journey, especially if you're anything like me, if you're in pursuance of something greater than yourself, if you're in pursuance of something that could last forever, I feel like you're a traveler. You're always moving. For me specifically, it also like ties into who I am as the artist Go Esco. Like I'm on the go. I'm on a mission. So me being a traveler is also representative of me being a leader, right? Because I feel like people who are following me, who are interested in, who are inspired by me, are looking to see me cross a certain threshold, right? And what that means is, metaphorically, physically, I am a traveler. I'm constantly in motion.
Okay. Yeah, that's some deep thinking and deep you know thought process that you've definitely spent a lot of time, I guess, conveying that message and conveying what it is that you're trying to put out there, right?
To be honest, it came from looking within. That's why I tell all the artists, if you want to get to that next level, I think it starts from looking within.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of self-reflection. um yeah, I mean, that just is any part of life. If you're not going to put the work in, if you're not going to do it for yourself, if you don't have that inner dog, if you're not, willing to grind, like, I don't know, man. It's But was there a specific moment you decided to fully commit to this journey that you're on?
To be honest, I feel like I've always been committed. Like I don't know, I've had several moments of doubt. You know what I mean? But like for some reason I'm still here and I'm still doing it, you know. So I don't know. What was the question again? What'd you say?
No, I was just saying. Do you remember the moment that you decided to commit to this journey that you're on?
Okay, well, I think to be honest, I decided to commit to it ever since I recorded my first song. I don't know if it was through a divine calling of some sort, or if it was through my own personal manipulation. But either way, that's how it happened. Because ever since I recorded my first song, I wanted to record the next and 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 the next, and I'm still here writing. I still have songs I'm about to put out. I don't know when it'll ever stop.
Is it addicting? Would you call it an addiction, or is it just something that you feel like is a part of you, where you're like, I gotta put this out there?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, would you say it's like an addiction, like getting
Yes,
that next song out
I think
there?
I
Like,
think it is.
yeah,
I
you
think
probably get like there's a part of like a dopamine effect off of that, I'm sure.
definitely
Yeah,
there's a rush. I mean, there's
yeah,
definitely a rush from. I think more than anything, I get the rush from impressing myself because I'm like the biggest critic. So if I can make a song that I like, oh, I did that.
yeah. Do you go back and listen to like any of your old music at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Not like more than I used to. I used to not even be able to like go through any of my songs. For some reason, those are the songs people love the most.
Your older songs?
Yeah, I think, and I came to learn because I think it's because that's how they discovered me.
I think with many artists, if you're a good artist, you evolve. You evolve with the times. You change as we do as humans. You evolve. You change. You mature. You get older. So at what time, fans come in and pick up on your music, if that's not exactly who you are, say 5, 10 years from now, that might not be for them. But
The
it's good
same
to
thing you're
have
putting
that.
out.
Yeah, it's good to have that wide range though, because you're appealing to so many different people. And as you get older, you can go back and be like, hey, this stuff right now might not be for you, but why don't you check this older stuff out? That might be more your vibe or something like that. So it's cool
So
to have that catalog that'll be out there.
the funniest thing about me is I do have that catalog, and I can move in cycles because I have that range. So
Yeah,
for example, right, like the stuff that they fell in love with, I'm about to give them an even better version of that.
yeah, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, so if they've been hanging in there, if they've stuck it with me, yeah, it's gonna
That's
be
awesome.
so worth it.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm always curious to see people, like I said, that are on their grind and they're about their hustle. And when you have up and coming projects that you're working on, it's cool to watch things come to fruition.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
but you've built your own brand, but it's more like a universe for you. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, so I've been, as I'm constantly doing research, and pretty much I realized that what I'm building is actually called a cultural IP brand. And what that is it has the ability to extend into so many directions. I plan at some point, and this is probably the first time I'm speaking on it, I plan to make a comic book. You know what I mean? I have a board game that I'm working on as well, but it's a lot of different things and a lot of different directions I plan to go with this universe that is Saga City.
That's what I was going to ask you about. So, what is Saga City to someone who's never heard of it before?
So Saga City is like, I guess the best way I can put it is Saga City is like is a goal. Saga City is a destination in your mind. Saga City is a place in your heart. But at the same time, so for example, as a traveler, right? I'm on this journey, and this journey that I'm on is in pursuance of all the things that will make me happy and or make me successful in life. To be honest, I am chasing happiness more than I am chasing money. But I let any traveler decide which is more important to them. Um,
So, what is Saga City to someone who's never heard of it?
so Saga City is, to me, it's a place in your mind. It's a place in your heart. It's a place that pretty much symbolizes the ambition that every traveler carries. And for me personally, I am chasing happiness, but every traveler has the choice to choose happiness or, I guess, financial success in whatever shape or form. I believe that our community supporting each other can make these things happen for each and every one of us. So to me, as long as we travel together and we are in support of each other, we can make all these things happen. The journey, the road to Saga City is a symbol of that, and Saga City is a symbol of the success that we achieve when we get there. And that success or that community represents all of us. I'm gonna break it down a little bit further. So Saga City is pretty much means wisdom. Um, it is derived from a French word called sagacité, and that word means wisdom. I broke it down into two fractions, saga and cité, to mean Saga City. So essentially, the wisdom of, I guess, working with each other, I guess would symbolize a form of wisdom. And that community or that communion would bring us to success, happiness, financial success, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, man, that's some deep thoughts. Not a lot of people think in that manner, and not even put that much into their everyday. And you have a whole breakdown for it, and there's lore, there's ranks, quests, sacred scrolls. Like, how
Yep.
did this vision come together?
I think, like I said, I I was a pretty nerdy kid, and I guess
A big imagination, I would say, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely a big imagination. I think more than anything, it also was the fact that I wanted to find a way to reward my fans for their support. I feel like we're in a day and time where there's a lot of different artists, and a lot of different artists got a lot of different type of shit going on, right? And artists reward their fans in different ways. I wanted to find physical and like more meaningful ways to reward them. So I decided to find a way to literally gamify my community, and that's what created the ranks, the scrolls, the quests, and all these things also are just branding, but generally they're that's what my community kind of like comes to. I think right now we're still at the at identifying everybody, and trying to figure out how we're I guess we're still in building phases of the community, but it's still pretty open, and we have a lot of big plans, and we have a lot of things that we want to do. Like right now, we're planning like a community cookout before the summer's over. We want to do bowling and a lot of different little fun things to keep our
Is
community close and
is
excited, and
is there a way that you guys stay in touch with each other, like in communication? Like, is there like a Discord chat, or you guys have a group
yeah.
chat or something
So
like that?
we're building a Discord chat right now. It's actually launched. We're still at below 10 members, but that's where the gamification is at its highest level. That's where you literally earn points for different things. But right now we have our most interactions on in our group chat on Instagram. We have a
Okay.
Saga City group chat, and we have a City Infantry channel.
Okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
So
in the
the
City Infantry channel, we post daily transmissions, and it's a way to keep our travelers focused, and what I mean, in a good headspace on their journey.
Yeah, that's dope, man. It's always good to have good mindset, you know, literature and things like that to look at to expand your mind and help people get through the day-to-day struggle, because not everyone thinks that way. Not everyone, people just get up, go through the mundane 9 to 5 or whatever it is they do, and sometimes if you can give them a little nugget of inspiration or something to kind of maybe change the mindset a little bit, it's always good. But
Yeah,
the lingo that you use, is that, would you say that comes from what you say your nerdy background, or okay.
for
Yeah.
sure. Playing games like, I guess, like what Elder Scrolls and fucking Fallout 4, and like a bunch of I've been to a lot of different little things. Um, but a lot of that, just more than anything, I guess a lot of the lore and the scrolls and stuff and the quests and stuff like that just came from. I'm a very big fan of the medieval times, and I
Okay.
believe they really never left. I see a lot of dragons still lurking, and a lot of maidens, and you know what I mean. So um, I
Can you
just
elaborate on that?
um, so I guess that's kind of like lingo that I kind of like tend to use. And
But
I guess
who would you refer to as a dragon?
a dragon would be a hater. A dragon would be
Okay.
like, you know what I'm saying, like a shorty that's like getting in the way of you trying to talk to her a friend that's bad or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
she dragging, like let her
Yeah.
go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, a scroll would be like a text. Oh, I got a scroll, or I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? Or like just little shit. But like I'll be honest, it's still me and a very few friends that even use it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to I develop things like that because like I really want to be that close with the people that I'm building and calling my community. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's dope. It makes the people feel like they're there with you. You know what I mean? They're in on it. You know, like they're there on it
exactly,
with you on the journey. You know.
exactly. And I
What,
mean, the
what,
thing for me that's fun is like not everybody's gonna have access to all these things because when it gets to a certain point, like you know what I mean, like I won't unfortunately be on ground floor as much. So it's certain things that people won't have as much access to. That's why the people that get in now, I'm building with them that much.
yeah.
While I can't, because I already know
Yeah.
what it's gonna come to.
Why do you think so many people resonate with the idea of a hidden city or a promised place?
I think because one, I mean, everybody kind of wants to find the Wizard of Oz. Like everybody does, whether they admit it or not. But everybody wants to see what's on the other side. So I think it's just like an innate thing that I think people relate to more than anything. And besides, like whether people really like it or not, they're on a journey. Whether they want to be on the journey to Saga City is up to them. But I already understand that not everybody's gonna come with me, and that's fine. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. You say that you don't have fans, and I know you touched on it. That there's travelers, there's recruits, there's even city elite.
Hmm.
Are those sort of the rankings that you described on or
Yep.
levels that?
Yep. So, for example, Wastelanders, that like that everybody. So, the Wastelands is like another area. So the Wastelands is kind of where everybody in my mind starts out, right? Because you're in my mind, the way that works is we're all still trying to figure it out. I have some days where I'm in the Wasteland. I'm not always in Saga City. More than often I'm in the wastelands because I'm actually still on the journey to Saga City. You know what I mean? So everybody starts out in the wastelands. When I start seeing people who are showing interest and showing initiatives, they're becoming city recruits. They're climbing their ladder. They're showing that interest. When they're showing interest, checking into the city infantry chat, the city infantry channel, and they're participating in the city chat discussions. They're showing more interest. When someone now shows the most interest and they want to support me on another level, for example, maybe they want to show their patronage and want to join like my Patreon and they subscribe, they become they join the Saga City Fellowship.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they're providing offerings that continue to provide to the journey that is Saga City. They're keeping fuel in you know what I'm saying, in everything that's going on. Because I use a lot of that I buy beats, I pay for studio time, I get more merch. You know what I mean? So like those people understand, and in return, I give them exclusives like new music before it comes out, new videos before they come out, new merch before they come out, like all types of stuff that I'm never even gonna put out. Like I have literally a vault of music, maybe upwards of 30 songs that I'm never gonna drop that they have access to all the time.
Yeah.
So
I was just saying that's awesome how you have like kind of broken it down like compartmentalized basically. Sorry.
yeah,
uh, but basically how you're going to distribute your energy, so to say,
yeah,
like because it's
pretty
like
much.
it's not worth going all in on someone who might just be at like a lower level rank type of person who really might not be all
Exactly.
there for you when you know someone over here is. So hey, I'm gonna go all in for this one. Like that makes a lot of sense when
Exactly.
you think about it.
Exactly. Everybody that's choosing to give me their all, I give them my all. And if you're still just because for me, like the driving force of everything is the music. If you like the music enough to start showing more interest, then I start rewarding you as well. If the music's not for you, then I understand it's not for you, and we can we can keep it casual. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So you sort of built your own community or in like an ecosystem. Would you agree with that?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's a dope way that you broke that down, and uh, many other artists could probably take a little bit from that if they
If
are out there
they
watching.
watch this,
Yeah,
hey, just please, hey, make sure you remember you heard it here first on Blaze the
yes,
Bingo
you heard on
Hall
the bingo
with
hall, baby.
you know what I'm saying? We go Esco. Don't forget though, because I know how y'all get.
Yes, yes. Um, I guess some would say that it's a spiritual branding, or some would say that spiritual branding is a new scam. Is Saga City a cult?
I wouldn't say it's a cult, right? But I would say it's close to a cult only because like it's a belief system. It's a real belief system. Like we have a traveler's guide. But the thing is, I'm not asking body to do anything they don't want to do. There's nobody in there that will tell you I've asked them to ever do a thing that they do not want to do. And as far as I'm concerned, the and I'm not I feel like there's a lot of qualities that people define cults ish, right? That like, for example, right? I know one of the I guess the biggest things you can identify with somebody that's in a cult is they take people away from their families. I'm not taking anybody away from shit. You feel me?
Right.
So those allegations to me are hilarious, but it's funny because I see them all the time. I'm not sure what that means, but I all I could say on that is Saga City is a
Have you
family.
had allegations from other artists?
I wouldn't say from other artists, but I don't know who's doing it. I see on,
Okay.
like on Instagram, I think there's one of the features where people can like pose questions and pose different stuff. And a lot of times I see people, I think I see fans more than artists asking me if it's a cult though. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure on really how to speak on
Yeah.
that, but
That's
what I can say is Saga City is a family, and we're on a healthy journey. You can join us, or I guess listen to hearsay.
yeah. I mean, you seem to have a lot of meaning and thought with what you choose to involve yourself with.
Yeah,
So, I mean, uh, like I said, haters are gonna hate, and
you know what I'm
you
saying?
never.
Dragons gonna be dragons, and they gonna get
Yeah,
slayed. You hear me?
yes, the dragons out there, man. The dragons are out there. Um, but what's one of those moments during your career that you realized that what you're doing is bigger than music?
Honestly, I think it's all the people I see and the smiles they have on their faces and the wideness in their eyes when they see me. Either after we've had great discussions in our Instagram group, or after they've seen me perform, or after they appreciate the merch they got, or any of these experiences when they feel that, it makes me feel great. Like it makes me have that feeling I originally had the first time I made a rap. And it's one of those feelings I hold forever. I think that's really what it is.
If someone joins the Saga City today, what can they expect on their way to Saga City?
They can expect genuine support. They can expect genuine support from genuine people. They can expect to be loved by a family of people who they can choose to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare that you get to choose your family. This could be the first time you could choose a family that you can be glad you chose, you know?
Yeah, I say unfortunately you don't get to choose your family is a lot of times is what you hear. But if you can choose, man, that's a good thing, man. Because
Exactly. So
I'm a firm believer in like you are who you hang around with, so to say.
exactly.
That's very true. Yeah, so if you're hanging around the bad people, you're hanging around people that aren't going anywhere and aren't motivated, then guess where you're going right there with them.
Exactly.
If
And
there's four,
in our community, we're pretty motivated. We're pretty excited about life, and we keep each other going. So
yeah.
I
What's
think
your biggest hope for someone who hears your music for the first time?
my biggest hope is that they're inspired to do more for themselves. My biggest goal is that they're inspired to want more from life. My biggest goal is that they're inspired to want to go.
Okay. Where does the road lead next for Ezko?
Um, well, I have a lot going on this year. It's a lot that I'm still trying to build with Saga City. I have crypto stuff I'm trying to do. I have more business stuff I'm trying to set up. I'm trying to partner with, I'm trying to see if I can make bigger partnerships. I can't really reveal who with yet, but it's a lot of things I'm trying to do with this year. And more than anything, I need the support of the people, because the support of the people is what's going to make these things happen. If I don't have it, then Saga City is just Saga City. But if the people continue to do what they're doing, which is, I don't need the people to do much, really. I really don't. I just need the people to be there and continue to receive what I'm giving them and be inspired by it. To be honest,
Do you
anything more than that is great.
do you feel like you fuel off of the people? Like they're your fuel?
Yeah, I feel I feel I really do because like I said, I think most of the things that make me want to keep doing it is based off of the like not I don't want to say the happiness of other people, but I do like seeing people want more from this or be inspired to want to keep going or to want to keep making music for whatever reason, or maybe something I inspired or something they saw me do or whatever. Like it makes me feel good. But on top of that, I think it also makes me feel good to see a fan tell me, yo, I feel these lyrics. Or this song, bro, this made me like go through some shit. Oh, damn, bro, every time I hear this song, it made me think of my ex. Like, these are all different types of perspectives of things that I hear from fans that listen to my music also. So all these different things definitely keep me going.
Yeah, that's probably the best moments. I'm assuming is where you hear
Yes.
that feedback from your fans or people that are just like, hey, this did this for me, and you're like, damn, just some song I created and did like makes you think like, man, like what you're doing. There's a bigger reason for it, So it's
Yeah,
yeah, man, that's dope. That's definitely those moments are definitely inspiring, I would say.
for sure. 100%.
Do you think that artists today are inauthentic?
Do I think artists today are authentic?
Inauthentic.
Inauthentic? I think quite a few of them are. I think quite a few artists are inauthentic. I don't know if they choose to be inauthentic. I think a lot of times that's the nature of the beast. But a lot of times also, these are adults who are making choices. So it's hard to say. I can only speak for myself. I try to be as authentic as possible, and whether other artists are inauthentic or authentic, it can't really move my needle. So
Absolutely.
I leave that
Absolutely.
to them.
Do you ever feel like some of your biggest doubters might be your own people?
I went through that experience quite a bit, and I learned from myself that it's hard to, for example, it's hard to tell your friend Rocco, oh, bro, I'm a rapper now. I get on stage and I kill shit. Meanwhile, he knows you for, being the kid maybe that peed the bed or something. Whatever. That's what he knows. That's his funny thing about you that he remembers. How the fuck do you convince Rocco that you're the rapper making it big now? It's not easy, is what I'm trying to say. And when I figured that out, I realized, okay, you know what? I think I'm marketing my music to the wrong people. So I started more so, and then also I just started paying attention to the people who were liking my music. And when I started noticing the pattern, it started making more sense. So with that, when that started happening, I just did quick math, and understood that it was a marketing thing, and I started to understand that, okay, if I market to the right people, I might have a chance at finding my audience.
Yeah, I think some people get caught up in that sometimes where they think that, and I've had these conversations here in the bingo hall before, where like your people aren't always going to be your audience, and
Exactly.
not to say Rocco is your people, but some extension of that, he knows you from a different, time, so he's always looking
Exactly.
at you at a certain view. But yeah, your people is not always going to be your audience. So, like you said, once you're able to find your market and your avenue and the people that are there to support you, that's who you need to cater to. That's who you need to be playing to. So,
Exactly.
yeah, I feel like that's definitely a big thing. But if you never make it by, like, say, industry standards, are you still successful?
Yeah, to be honest, in my mind, I already made it.
Okay,
In my
you're
mind, I already
fulfilled.
made it. Like I've performed with a lot of the biggest artists in the world. I've done songs with some of the biggest artists in the world. I've been around some of the biggest artists in the world. I've done things that I wanted to do as a kid, and thinking what an artist was. In my mind, I already made it. Everything at this point is just things that I want to do to be a responsible adult.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And would you say that what kept you going when the people close to you stop believing in you?
I think I just had to understand and give them a chance that, not everybody's gonna have enough patience for you. However, it doesn't mean they don't love you. They just might have lost patience for this particular thing. And you can't blame them, because if you're pursuing the dreams of entertainment, you're trying to slay a dragon, and it's not an easy thing to do. You know what I mean? Anybody who is serious at it will tell you it's not an easy thing to do. So, it's just out of fear of that. And you can't blame them for that fear. In fact, you have to love them for that fear, because if they weren't scared, that might mean that they might not care about you. So you just
Yeah,
have to find a different way to, like, direct your energy about it. To be honest, I go about it. If I'm people I meet, I don't even really tell them I make music unless they show an interest to it. If they don't
yeah,
ask about it, they might never know.
yeah, yeah. That's kind of dope though, because when some, I'm sure that's kind of mind blowing for some people when they do find it. Like, oh, I didn't know you did this.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
you never asked about it. So
Exactly. And every artist would benefit from that way of going about things versus the
it's
other.
organic. It's organic way for them to connect with you versus them feeling like you're trying to push whatever it is that you're trying to do. Then they
Exactly.
feel like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with So
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, that's smart. Definitely smart. Um, but let's switch it up. You were recently at Cookies, and were you in the DC? Were you at the DC
Yep.
store? You said
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Um, that was a good little experience. You said you were there at was it the opening of
Yes,
the
sir.
store
That was the
there?
grand opening. It was the grand opening of the store in DC. It was
Did they
lit.
bring Burner out or anything for that or no?
I didn't see him. I
Oh,
didn't see
okay.
him. I
I
also
know he
didn't
was at the
really.
Baltimore one when that one opened.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I heard about that. I thought he was gonna show up, but I didn't hear anything about him showing up.
Maybe he's not
So,
really, he might not be heavily involved with it as much anymore from little things that I've seen. So I
hey,
don't
who
know.
knows? Who knows? He
Yeah.
got he got that bag though. He got
Yeah,
that
definitely.
bag.
Definitely. So what's your typical method of consumption?
Honestly, I would say flour. Flour, you know what I'm saying? Sheets with the dun dun, you feel me? Like, I fuck with the 2-4. Um, I might do the blackout if it's a bad day, but I fuck with the 2-4. I smoke it in the blue or the green hemp. The whatchamacallit, the bamboo joint.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's how I like to smoke. I also fuck with the vapes on the inside tip, but yeah, that's about. And then once in a while, like if I'm feeling, you know what I'm saying, if I'm feeling that aura, I might just do the backwood. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with the
Okay.
Russian creams. I fuck with the what's the black pack, the con. I think it's the what is the cognac, the black pack, whatever that joint is. I fuck with that shit
Yeah,
too.
I'm not big on the blacks. I'm not big on the blacks, but the backwoods. But
That would be a
I
crazy clip if somebody clipped that.
oh yeah, yeah. I was trying to say backwoods. I was trying to say black and miles or whatever, but but yeah, I used to
Hey,
smoke.
no.
I used to smoke blunts all the time though, but I definitely had to get off of them because it was fucking me up. But I used to
I
smoke
feel you.
Dutch Masters all the time, but
I used to smoke Dutch
backwoods weren't
Masters
my
too.
thing.
There was a time cigarillos was the wave.
Yes, yes.
I wasn't on it
And the
heavy
loose one and the
because
loose ones too. Like you buy the loose ones that you know what I
mm,
mean. All right, let me get a
the
vanilla, let me get a
wraps.
strawberry, let me get a grape. You know what I mean.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
then I started buying the 3 packs, and I switched to like the games because the games are a little bit cheaper. But
yep.
it's like
Good
every
times.
once in a while I still crave one, and I feel like if it's a special moment or whatever, like fuck it, I'm at the roll blunt. Like it's been a
Yeah.
while, but that used to be my go-to, but I don't know. It's different. You get that nicotine rush. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
Look, I'm about to talk myself into smoking the blunt. But
Good times.
yeah, man, yeah. Do you smoke before, after a performance, or both, or?
So it depends. Like I've been in different phases. Like I mean, I could smoke before. It really depends on how I feel. But I like to smoke before. I like to smoke after. If I could, I'd probably smoke during.
Hell yeah.
But like I
Just
like to
I guess
smoke.
depends on the event or the venue or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The other thing too is like I was usually though if I am smoking like I need water because like cottonmouth is a bitch,
Yes.
and
Yes.
cottonmouth is probably like my greatest enemy while I perform. It'll
Well,
have me thinking,
just performing too. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah. Yeah, performing and smoking, that's like the double threat of cottonmouth right there.
yeah, yeah. So I just had to learn if I'm gonna smoke before, during, after, whatever, just have my water next to me.
For
So
sure. Gotta stay hydrated.
is there.
What's a routine look like on a day when you're gonna, perform?
So my routine on a performance day, it depends on what my life is like at the time. Like if everything is gravy, if everything is like gravy, let me describe a morning like where everything is gravy, and I got a performance that day, right? So I wake up to some top, right? And then after that, it's a blunt that she already rolled before I even woke up. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And and then I smoke that, you know what I'm saying? Hop in the shower, do my, you know what I'm saying, my 1-2. I don't even hop into my stage fit yet. This is just, you know what I'm saying? We go, I get ready a little bit, like I do, practice my set a little bit for like maybe 20 minutes. And then like I just kind of kick it. Kick it, listen to music, play some video games, watch my favorite anime, whatever. It's supposed to just be good vibes for the day. Because generally, I like to have things taken care of before that day. So, because I
Yeah.
hate having to run around on a show day. It's the worst thing. I've done it for
Yes.
years. I decided by a certain point, no more. So I just started making sure that everything was set before that day actually came. Um, so usually by that day, I'm chilling. I'm chilling all the way, and then I get to the show. Usually by the time where there's a mic check, I do that. And by then, everything is set, merch, everything is good to go. So, I just do my thing, mic check, time to perform. After that, big ass blunt, check what the merch table did. You know what I mean? Like, check in with the fans, pictures, all that good stuff, social media, networking, after party, turn up, strippers, alcohol, weed.
Getting
Good
lit, huh?
times, go back home, you know what I mean? Two, three of them.
Party like a rock star, you know what I'm saying?
You
But
know what I
you
mean?
gotta make it
And
to the
then,
concert the next day, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's the perfect day in the life of Go Ezko.
Yeah. That's dope, man. That's dope. If it wasn't for music though, what do you think would have been the path?
If it wasn't for music, I'd probably be a preacher. I'd probably be a priest.
Wow. Would you be a weed smoking priest?
Probably not. I might be a bad bitch getting priest though.
Oh God. Oh God. Any new music coming out for you?
Yeah, it's lots of new music coming out, man. I can't wait. Really, I got this little single I've been promoting called "1,000 Miles." It's a little shout out to Vanessa Carlton and her song "1,000 Miles." I grew up loving that song, and I
Hell
always
yeah.
wanted to like I guess pay tribute in some way or form. And I kind of did that with that song. I don't know if it'll translate, but I like it. There's that coming out. It might be part of a larger project. I was trying to do the sequel to my project called By Myself, and I was gonna do By Myself 2, put that out. I have another album that I was working on. It's about like 10, 11 songs in. I'm not all the way satisfied with it, so I'm still working on it. But that's probably gonna come out before the year's over as well. I have another EP that I'm trying to put together also. Singles that I'm also working on. I'm trying to also actually I'm not gonna speak on that, but yeah, that's kind of what I got going on. As far as music, I'm trying to do more shows, trying to sell more merch, trying to make more, trying to find more travelers. I'm busy.
Any upcoming performances you got coming up?
The only one that I know of right now, I've been working with someone to like try to do my booking also. And right now all they have for me right now is something that is supposed to I think happen in September or October. But I don't want to speak on it till it's like confirmed and but that's all. In the meantime, I always do like street performances on 14th and U. I always do open mic performances. I'm about to go to the one at the Pocket in a little bit. And I pop up and perform wherever I get a chance. So if you're in DC, and you go to open mics or you go to shows, you might see me. Come say what's up. Come talk to me. Um, I'm active.
Yeah, let the people know where they can find you at. This is your handle, at least on Instagram. If there's other socials that you're at, or if it's a different handle, let them know. Like you said, you got merch. Let the people know where they can find you at.
So on any social media where people can social, my handle is most likely the handle right here. If it's not that, it probably doesn't exist or I'm not active on it. Um, Outside of that, you can buy merch and find out more about the lore on sagacityaura.us. Outside of that, I'm most active on my Instagram. The Discord is called the Road to Saga City. You will most likely also find that through the Instagram. So your best bet to interact and really get into this Saga City shit would be through Instagram. Tap
Okay.
in, take my hand, let's hit the road.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I appreciate you for stepping into the bingo hall. It's been a pleasure. And anyone who hasn't, like, subscribe, commented, do that for your boy. That's how we're gonna blow it up and blaze up the bingo hall here in the future. That's how
Yes,
you support
sir.
your boy. It's how you support your boy Younglurch.
Yes,
And
sir.
Ezko, man, it's been a pleasure, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing you grow and seeing what else comes from you in the future, my friends. So again, thank
Thank
you
you,
for
man.
stepping in here. And like I said, if there's any last words you want to say, if not, we're gonna go ahead and say see ya.
All right. All I'm gonna say is Saga City is forever, forever
Okay,
rare, forever real, forever raw. Let's go.
let's go, baby. Peace.
Peace.